Hello, everyone. Blue Star Saber here once again to do another Star Wars: The Bad Batch review, Season 3, Episode 5, Return. And this episode will follow up the last episode in which Omega and Crosshair escaped the Empire, trying to find their way to the Bad Batch, and which they did, which had a very heartwarming reunion for Omega with Wrecker and Hunter, but a tense moment between them as they realized Crosshair was with them. Now, how will Crosshair be? How will their relation be now that Crosshair is back in the squad? What tensions will there be? Who will fight who? Will Echo show up? Well, we're about to find out. The episode pretty much begins with Omega, waking up from on the ship, with her little plushie, where they where they are back on the ocean world of Pabu, where she's been given some fruit by Shep and Lana. Lana Hazard, the village locals that are here, and Omega is pretty much having a fun time back here with greeting Wrecker and Hunter, but learning that Crosshair is still adjusting, and we see that Crosshair is trying to practice sniping with AC, and he is not doing the best job. In fact, his accuracy is 53%, which is massive downgrade from what he's previously able to do, but as due to his time in the prison cells, his sniping skills have become a lot less effective, pretty much. So he's having a hard time adjusting. But at this point, Omega is asked if she's talked to Hunter and Wrecker yet, but Crosshair says no, and Omega suggests he might be hiding, but he says he's not. He's practicing sniping, and Omega ends up asking all kinds of questions about sniping, in which Crosshair ends up talking about all the kinds of things about snipers, saying that it's more than just having good aim, they need to know the surrounding environment. And when they're being watched, which he sees Wrecker and Hunter watching them. Anyway, the ship with Echo arrives, and which is why I have my avatar of both Echo and Hunter, because I couldn't decide which one to choose between the two, but he has arrived, giving us sort of a nice hug to Echo, with Crosshair asking, does he get one? No, maybe rather sarcastically, but Echo he says, depends on your information, showing that there's still a little tension with them in there, and which they then start talking about their Omega and Crosshair start talking about their experiences on the base. Echo explains that about all the clones that were there. Even about the even the female clone that that she encounters. I've completely forgotten what that female clone is called. Hold on a second. Star Wars female clone. Let's see. Omega. Let's see. It's Dr. Reverend Hemlock. Okay. Royce Hemlock. Hold on. No, let's say. Hold on. What's in it? No, not Omega. No, back to Omega. Sorry. What do we have? Revan's Peak. No. Shadows of Tentacles. Yeah, let's try this one. Let's see. Oh yeah, Emery Carr. Let's see. There we go. That's the name. Sorry for that. I took quite a bit trying to find it. I've completely forgot the name, which may not be the best sign, but yeah. Anyway, it explains. Let's see. Emery Carr. Let's see. The club didn't get to see many of the facilities. Even Nala Se wasn't able to have, but she does have the data pad. Crosshair says that being a prisoner, he didn't get much information. But let's see. But they think that with but they do it. But they believe that since they have Nala Se's data pad, they should be able to get the information. But they should, if they could get an access to a comm thing, they should get the information. Granted, it would be much easier to have tech around, which unfortunately they don't. So they need the Imperial comm thing, and this is where let's see. Crosshair reveals that he knows a place where they can access an Imperial database, Imperial security comm. That isn't really that well guarded. Let's see. Hunter suggests that he, Echo, and Crosshair will go while Omega and Wrecker stay here. But Omega insists on going because, she feels a bit doesn't want to be separated from the Bad Batch, but she also reveals responsible for all the clones that have been left behind, and as a result, it seems like Wrecker sort of reluctantly allows his to go so they can try and access that Imperial terminal. But yeah, so just so they can find more information, particularly on the Imperial, Tantus base, its vault, let's see, and map location, stuff like that. Anyway, the clones, we later see them starting to load up their uniforms and all that stuff. Crosshair telling Omega that not to be too upset with Hunter, and Wetsy mentions that while she is probably capable, it's still technically a kid, but Omega has a little record to Wrecker about how she's technically older than him. And this is where Wrecker gives Crosshair his old uniform with the clone armor and all that stuff, revealing that they never really got rid of it and it didn't feel right. So he starts to try making a joke whether or not it fits, but you kind of got Hunter just looking on rather tensely and all that stuff, and which you have Omega Batch, which I do like. She seems to have named. I just realized probably named it after the Bad Batch in a sense. I didn't realize it at first, but I should have. But yeah, kind of clever. They arrive. Let's see. Her, Batcher, and the Bad Batch pretty much arrive at Baton 4th, the snow planet that Crosshair went to when he met Mayday's squad, in which before and where he betrayed the Empire. So it makes sense that you'll know this place. Let's see, and when they arrived, they realized that it was abandoned, with Hunter being questioned, how come you didn't know this? But he says he didn't get. Let's see, with Crosshair responded that he didn't know that he didn't get updates from the Empire. Hunter gets suspicious about what Crosshair did on this planet, particularly when they see sensors after Batcher gets disturbed a bit. Though granted, it doesn't happen later. But let's see, with Crosshair explaining that they were raiders, but he took care of them. And they got some tense things is that just following orders? Because, Imperial Crosshair and all, crossing and all that stuff. Anyway, they end up going to the entrance of the depot. After a bit of digging, they get inside. They find the terminal. And they start trying to, first thing to do, divert all the remaining power from the sensors they have there to the, let's see, for the data here. So they can access the terminal for the data. Wrecker confused about why the Empire abandoned this place. Crosshair saying they no longer probably needed it. With Hunter wondering if that was the case with them. But you sort of get like let's see, Crosshair just dismissing this and going somewhere to where he finds the discarded helmet of like Mayday's fallen squad troopers, where he puts them on top of the crate as sort of a memorial, where you see Hunter watching the background, trying to figure out what exactly happened here with like let's see, Crosshair and the Empire. During this time, let's see, Echo is able to get some data off the data pad, realizing there's a lot more clone prisoners than there are, but at the same time, can't really find any data on the maps and the location of the this clone prison base, if you will, where all the science experiments are going. Let's see, Crosshair volunteers to go out on patrol, but Hunter comes and follows. And this is where Hunter starts asking Crosshair what exactly happened between him and the Empire, where Crosshair is like, because he's concerned while they're trying to extract, the rest are trying to extract more from the data pads, where Hunter finally demands some answer and let's see what happened with him and the Empire, where Crosshair reveal, because he can't trust Crosshair until he tells him what goes on, where Crosshair reveals that he killed an Imperial officer after being betrayed by the Empire. So Hunter just gets a bit suspicious about, did you betray? So you betrayed them like you betrayed us, but he tries to point out that betrayed him, and then and this gets a bit tense with Hunter and Crosshair, where Crosshair then goes on about how he risked everything to send them the message from Tantus, but warning them, but they ignored him because they were actually trying to find them, which I'm surprised Hunter doesn't bring up, but he warns them and says as a result you got Omega caught, and probably, granted, he doesn't really mention Tech being dead. And then accuses Hunter of being angry at the fact that she got out, instead of him finding her, and it was him that actually helped Omega escape. And just before, a fight could break out, because you can really see that Hunter is making fists, they see Batcher barking, and a giant Cephine worm with, Serpentine worm, I think. An ice worm, I think that described it as. Well, it seems to be based on general worms on the thing. Now, granted, this was actually indirectly mentioned in the Outpost episode before, but pretty much it's starting to run amok. The Bad Batch, Hunter, Crosshair, and Batcher managed to make it back inside the outpost, and the Bad Batch seals the doors. They realize that Omega realizes that must be what the sensors were used for, and says that they need to try and Echo concluding they need to restore power in order to drive it away. And Crosshair reveals that there's a fuse box in reserve so they can get the power back on. Wrecker volunteers to turn it back on. Omega volunteers to reactivate the defenses, while Hunter decides that he's going to try and draw the creature out. So because they need to get out of the sensor so it won't be trapped inside once the sensors activate. Well, actually, Crosshair volunteers first, and then Hunter suggests doing it in a team, with Echo volunteering to be watch out from the tower, in which we start to see Crosshair and Hunter try to lure it away with, I believe, Batcher's help. Though eventually, after shooting and all that, so a bit of shooting and chasing, Hunter falls into the hole that the ice worm did, and decides to use the tunnel to lure it away. Wrecker manages to search for the fuse box and turns it back on. let's see, Echo warning Crosshair that the worm is pursuing him and Batcher, and let's see, Omega is ready to set up the perimeter, but ready to set off the perimeter, but let's see, Hunter and Crosshair Hunter insists that Omega does not yet do it with let's see, Crosshair and Batcher at the perimeter, while Hunter has now managed to lure the beast to here and all that stuff, with Crosshair using his rifle to try and smash through bits of the ice to try and help Hunter get up, in which he manages to help him get up, and the creature's just off the outside the barrier. Omega starts to turn it on as, let's see, Hunter and Crosshair run with Batcher to get to the center, and they just get there in time just as it activates, driving the worm away. With you got Batcher sort of barking and not being affected by the sensor now. I'm not sure if it's because she's more used to it now, but I'll talk about it later. So they manage to let's see, escape, and they have a bit of a sort of silent nod towards each other. Oh yeah, you also have a record going like, why is there always a monster during the bit of the whole chase bit? But yeah, but they seemingly finally made finally come to us understanding. Let's see, they go back to the Bad Batch. Wrecker hugs the two clones with Omega, telling Echo, who was a bit concerned earlier, and saying that they'll figure it out. But Echo says, see what I told you. And this time without any blood, which is a little funny joke. So, let's see. They managed to get all the medical data. Omega hopes that it'll be enough, but feels like it could be more, and feels like she could have gone back to them. But Echo assures them that she did the right thing of escaping, and with the information that they got from her, they can have a more closer chance of trying to free all those imprisoned clones. So, and that she was more important to escape, but he can do what he can to help with Rex. And then the episode ends with with Crosshair after seemingly sort of digging up some bits of snow bits, and perhaps burying those clone helmets, or maybe some of the clone bodies. I don't think there's no bodies actually, but maybe doing something with the helmets. Crosshair then speaks with Hunter, admitting that he underestimated the Empire's malevolence, and he thought he could handle it and all that stuff. But Hunter assures him that they all didn't quite understand what the Empire actually was at the time, what was happening back then. Crosshair talking about the regrets that he had. Let's see, regrets of some stuff he did during the Empire's time following orders, which includes killing civilians that were under Saw Gerrera's protection, which is what I can think of. But Hunter says as long as they, he also has regrets, but they should keep striving to become better, trying to redeem themselves. As Crosshair looks at the bird that was screeching and flying in the air before, leaving the planet behind, seemingly Crosshair leaving whatever demons he had behind on the planet, as well as at least starting to finally mend his relationship with Hunter. Ending the episode. Anyway, overall thoughts. Okay, I will admit, I was a bit surprised that it wasn't granted, I shouldn't really be surprised. It wasn't a direct follow-up from like the last episode. They had a bit of time. Some time had passed since episode 4 and episode 5 of the Bad Batch. How much remains unknown, but clearly some time passed as Omega is back comfortable with like the Bad Batch on Pabu, while Rick Crosshair is still kind of adjusting. Maybe a few weeks at best is what I'm guessing. A little disappointed we didn't get to see how Crosshair and not Crosshair, Wrecker and Hunter reacts to Batcher, but I think but then again, it's probably it's a minor thing. It's like Batcher's pretty much Omega's pet hound at this point, so that's that. It's not going to be anything too serious, but yeah. But I do like how she's quickly managed to adjust to reuniting with her two brothers, but realizes that Crosshair hasn't, let's see, adjusted and is still feeling tense relationships between him and his like former squad members. Now, granted, it's interestingly like Wrecker, who I thought would probably hold a bit more of a grudge, seems to be more willing to forgive um, Crosshair because Omega does it, and so I guess Wrecker being the more lovable big brother type figure, let's see, probably just accepts what Omega said, and at least willing to trust him and all that stuff. And to be fair, he was always the one that kind of missed Crosshair the most out of the original Bad Batch squad, except maybe Omega, even though she didn't get time to actually know Crosshair. But Hunter feels a lot more personal about the betrayal because arguably he thought that Crosshair was doing it all because of the chip, but he ended up with learning that it was actually his own choices, and probably feels a bit more hurt and personally betrayed by that, as he probably did want Crosshair to come back at one point, but realized that Crosshair was too far gone, at least at that time. So you have that. But anyway, I do like that Crosshair is practicing. I do like that we got to see BZ again. And it's like he's practicing with the sniping with the fruit thing in the hand. And I do like how BZ's kind of shaking a bit, but Crosshair is not up to date as not up to his regular strength or his regular skills, as he's only hitting at 53% accuracy of the time, which is BC points is much lower than his usual score. I think I've seen some memes of that. It used to be 100%, now 53%. But anyway, but it sort of makes sense. He's been tortured, he's been in prison, he's been away for a long time. He hasn't had time to re-practice his skills, and his hands are still shaking, seemingly from the injuries, so he wouldn't be at top game. And it makes sense he'll try to practice, but he's clearly not as good as he used to. It's kind of like how an expert how you're like an expert on something. Let's see, you've done it for a long time, but then you had a bit of a long absence, and when you get back to it, you're not as skilled as you used to be, or at least you're not at the skill level that you used to be, but you're trying to get back there. So this is kind of like that. In many ways, probably how some of us were, probably how I was like with many of my activities during when COVID happened, and then when I came back, I needed to long-term sort of refresh my skills before I got better again, or even better than before in some cases. But yeah, that's all going to be what happened there. Anyway, I am glad that Echo's back. Let's see, because I was a little disappointed that he wasn't with the squad. Let's see, initially after the whole stick with the squad after after Omega got kidnapped. But I do like that he came back. Let's see, and is hugging Omega, but still feeling a bit of tense with Crosshair. But at the very least, is willing to hear out the information. I do think, and I do glad that that is the reason that Echo is here, because it's okay, Omega and Crosshair escaped clone prison, so yeah, they would definitely have some information about let's see, of the clone prison base where all those experiments are happening. So I do like they have that conversation, and they learn all the kinds of things about how Nala Se didn't have much access even to the Tanta's vault, like what let's see, kind of like the experiments the clones were going in, and even the Bad Batch learning the identity of a female clone. I wonder how they are going to the rest of the Bad Batch will interact with this with Emily Carr. Let's see when they actually meet him. Let's see. Omega seems to hope that she can persuade her to join their side eventually or help them. But I'm wondering where the other members of the Bad Batch fall. Would it be more like Crosshair, yeah, we can't trust her? But who knows? We'll have to wait and see what happens with that episode. Or when that confrontation finally happens. But I do like how Omega tries to suggest to use the data pad, and I do like how Crosshair suggests that actually he knows a location where they can use a terminal to access it because, well, they no longer have tech to access the data pads and do his expertise to hack in. Though Echo can still do it, but he's just not good as tech. But needs the Imperial terminal. And I do like how the Bad Batch is still missing tech. Because he's because each member of the Bad Batch played a bit of a people said Echo didn't really play much of a role at all, but Tech, being the brains of the operation, was always one of the most very useful for the Bad Batch and their missions. But now he's gone, so they don't have that tech skill as they used to. I mean, Echo is a sort of good substitute, but it's probably not the same. But yeah, anyway, I do like how when Hunter tries to get Omega to stay, she's like, let's see, even though it makes probably sense that, and most people would probably leave Omega behind, even Crosshair sort of, we learned that Crosshair would have done so, which led to a funny banter of Omega saying I'm older than you, says that is technically true since she's an unaltered clone when it comes to aging. But Hunter doesn't really want to get Omega in danger. But I do like how Omega uses her reasoning about how she just reunited the squad. She doesn't want to separate from them. And also the fact that she feels bad that she left all those clones behind. And she wants to, go back and rescue them because, she feels responsible for their, she feels responsible for them all because, well, they are technically her brothers as well. And also that they're all innocent, and also, well, she's probably having some sort of, I guess you could say maybe some sort of survivor's guilt that, she escaped, but the others didn't. Now, maybe not as dramatic, perhaps. I might be a little overthinking it there, but no. But anyway, I do like that Wrecker gives Crosshair his old armor thing, and I do like that they did keep the armor because it kind of shows that part of them always kind of hoped that Crosshair would come back, and it didn't feel right getting rid of it in case he does come back. And I do like the little jokes that Wrecker says, does it fit? Oh, it does fit when he actually sees the armor again. And there's even some sort of, I guess, some symbolic tension when the whole armor thing, because the Bad Batch, the ones that defected from the minus Crosshair, changed their armor, changed the painting of their armor sometime after the events in the Camino, but because Crosshair is defected from the squad and joined the Empire during the first episode of the Bad Batch, his armor is still pretty much what they were like back in the days of the Republic and when they were first being mercenaries, but as a result, his is still pretty much season 1 Bad Batch armor colorings. So there's you can kind of tell that there's a sort of coloring distance between the two, between Crosshair and the rest of the Bad Batch. Now, granted, I am curious to see whether or not Crosshair will try to change the painting of the coloring of his armor. Compared to the rest of the Bad Batch did, or just keep the colors as it is, just remind them that this is who he is and this is what squad he belongs to, or just a reminder of the fact that he did end up abandoning his comrades or not, who knows. But either way, I really do like that we're back with Crosshair's original armor, because it's much cooler than his Empire one, or whatever armor they would have given him. The Stormtrooper armor he might have gotten, or other Clone Trooper armor. Besides, I think it's it really fits with his sniper motes and all that stuff. So I do like that. I do like how he brings them back to the planet that he betrayed the Empire after he's witnessed the sort of treatment he received from Imperial officers and made a squad there. So it's in a sense he's returning to his sort of demons, and you can kind of tell with when he goes back to check on like Mayday Squad's helmets and like those that remain, thinking about them. And but of course there's like tension with him and like Hunter because of this planet. It's because like Hunter realizes that like Crosshair has done stuff on this planet, particularly when he said he wiped out all the raiders and all that. So you've got that sort of tension bit there, and even Hunter like just observing Crosshair with like the clone helmet, and then just going outside during the perimeter. And Hunter, Ritzy eventually, of course, gets Ritzy prior enough, and this is arguably the highlight of the episode with Hunter being like, okay, Crosshair, what exactly happened on this planet? What did you do to finally get on the Empire's bad side? And which finally Ritzy, of course, seeing Crosshair relenting that he killed an Imperial officer. And I do like how Hunter just seemingly, because he's just assuming the worst of Crosshair at this point, is pretty much like let's see, and this time, and because he's doing the worst of Crosshair at this point, thinking that, oh, he must have started it. But Crosshair goes like, no, they betrayed me, so I betrayed them. And even though Hunter's doing like, still getting on like Crosshair's backside, pain in the butt, if you will, finally pushes Crosshair to go like, let's see, saying that, oh, I warned you about the dangers of this, but you ignored me, and as a result, you got Omega captured. But then you probably got annoyed that it was me that actually helped to escape and not you. In which, like, ooh, like this is like that probably cuts deep, because in some ways, perhaps Hunter is sort of feeling that way, and it looks like he is about to punch it. And this time, you don't have any like Echo or Wrecker to interrupt the fight between them. Like you kind of saw like in the early bit of the episode, but yeah, but it's like he was really, you could tell that, let's see, Crosshair really got under Hunter's skin at that point, because he was about to do a fist and punching Crosshair. So yeah, you saw that tension, and it wasn't for the fact that the sensors were turned off and the ice worm came in and caused all kinds of chaos. Let's see, they would probably be starting to fight each other rather than get along. But before I get to the ice worm a bit, I do like the fact that the data revealed that there were a lot more clone prisoners than Echo and Rex probably initially thought. Meaning that when they probably finally do break into this prison and free all those clones, there's going to be some like huge battle, I think, between the prisoners and like the stormtroopers and clone commandos on the Empire's side, if I had to guess. So that'd be cool to see that kind of battle when it does. But also shows that even though they've gotten quite a lot of data, even though they've gotten some useful data of like medical records and like all the clone prisoners, they don't quite have the exact location of the Imperial base. So it shows that there'll be a lot more work to do for the Bad Batch to help them, Echo and Rex, find that clone-based prison and all those remaining clones. So I do like that. But yeah. Anyway, for the ice worm, well, it's just another one of those monsters of the week, which for some people might get a bit tired and use formula at this point for like Bad Batch episodes. Heck, the second episode of the season pretty much had a sort of Sarlacc vine more like monster pretty much. So and this ice worm seems to be based off some worm designs. I think you saw some previous Bad Batch episodes. I think actually the first episode that Echo appeared in. So you have that. So yeah, it's a bit of a, let's see, the monster of the week is really sort of standard at this point for like the Bad Batch, but I do like Wrecker's line saying, "Why is it always a giant monster?" It's like even he's like kind of tired of it too. So I do like there seems to be a little self-awareness from like the writers of the show that they've used sort of giant monsters with the Bad Batch quite a lot of times. But I do like the sort of teamwork plan that they use to try and deal with the sort of ice worm with someone needs to turn on the fuel box behind. Wrecker does that. Omega volunteering to set up the sensors once it's back online, and with Crosshair volunteering to go out, but Hunter not willing to work. At least putting aside his differences with Crosshair, helping him because two clones dealing with that worm gives them more better chance of survival if it gets trying to distract and trying to pick one off from the other. And I do like how they're trying to strategize and trying to make sure it's out for the other side of the sensor, so when they activate it, they aren't trapped inside it. And I do like how Echo is being a bit of a lookout. I mean, granted, Echo isn't really too much of an active role in this episode, but except telling Omega that it'll probably take time for it'll take some time for Crosshair and Hunter to get better, and it's see, told you, and all that stuff later. But he's mainly more, or actually doing more of that, or just mostly being active and in combat wise and all that stuff. Just doing a look at. He's more just starting them as sort of starting the adventure, if you will, sort of bit. But it's fine because it's you got the reunion with Omega and then of course Crosshair, so that's fine with that. This episode is primarily, of course, focused on Crosshair and Hunter because it's their relationship that is damaged and mended. And I do like how you sort of have Hunter falling in and using that to falling in the hole that the ice worm made, and then using that to lure the beast. Crosshair also helping out, even shooting bits of ice to then make a hole so that you can get Hunter out there once the worm is there. Once the worm has gone past the sensor perimeter. Sorry, I've used the wrong wording there. Though granted, I will say one criticism I have is the fact that the sensor does affect the worm, but it's not really affecting Batcher second time round there. Ooh, and we've got my first comment from here from Angela Serena saying, "Hello, did you enjoy the episodes of The Bad Batch?" Yes. I'm enjoying this episode right now. In fact, I am talking about, all the stuff that I've enjoyed in this latest episode. I'm just talking about how Hunter and Crosshair work together and were able to put this aside their differences, which I will admit, I do like how once Crosshair is able to save Hunter, they just have this sort of silent nod because it's they don't need to say what they needs to be said about making amends and putting aside their differences. They've said it with all that sort of there. So I did like that. Oh, hold on a sec. I'm sort of getting low on power, so I just need to put my charger in. And going would you be surprised if Tech survived and returned? Okay. No, since there are all kinds of theories discussing about it, saying, "Oh, he might be alive." So, if I didn't see those theories online and discussions online, I wouldn't be surprised. If I did not see them, I probably would be surprised, as I figured, okay, Tech is gone and all that stuff. Though, granted, I'd rather Tech not come back because I think it makes his what happened in season 2 finale much more impactful, and the fact that and in a sense tragic that that the squad now that Crosshair's back, the squad is reunited, but it's never going to be fully reunited because, well, they lost a member during the fight. So arguably I'd rather not have Tech surviving, just because I think it leaves a sort of that's an empty hole in the field. It's the party's got to back a member, but it's permanently lost one. Granted, it's not the same. Granted, I know some people are disappointed, you never got the original trilogy trio reunion, and I pretty much would expect that. But I think with this with the Bad Batch is a whole different set of circumstances. It works more here with the Bad Batch than it did with the OT trio. So yeah, I'd rather Tech was not alive. But yeah, anyway, but speaking of like Bad Batch reunions, I do like that Wrecker hugs both Crosshair and let's see, Hunter once they've made it back. I do like how Omega is talking with Echo that she failed to that she feels guilty that she left all those clones behind, but also failed to like not get as much information as she was hoped for the data pad. But I do like how Echo shows her that as much any little information about where like the Tantive base and Hemlock is helpful enough for them and Rex, and with the data and the like clones that they have that are prisoners there, they know what they need to know, what they need, like probably what forces they might need to bring to rescue them, and what kind of ships they need to try and get them all out of that prison base. So that bit's of helpful. And I do like how Echo says the most important thing is that you making out of there was most important because you've got like as much information as you could to like save them. So I do like how Echo sort of assures them that let's see. Echo assures them that assures her that she did what was needed to be done. And unfortunately, it seems like Angela Serena has unfortunately left the chat, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, but I do like that final talk where Crosshair talks about his regrets to like Hunter about not thought he could handle the Empire, but turns out he was wrong. He thought it was like we thought he knew what he was signing up for, but Hunter assures him that no one knew what everyone must be signing up for when the Empire first showed up. We had no idea what they would be like. And even he's probably like sort of realizing himself that despite his attempts to run from it, it's been kind of impossible, and even they've lost members of the squad from it as a result of it. And I do like how Crosshair talks about the sort of guilt that he has from the experience, but let's see. And he doesn't realize that he's done some horrible things, which I've mentioned, like with like Saw Gerrera. Let's say what happened to those civilians that Saw Gerrera was trying to help. That's probably going to be probably one of the crimes that he's probably going to feel most guilty about, harming innocents like that. And I do like how Wrecker says like Hunter says like, let's see, we all got things we regret, but as long as we try to be better in the future, we might just be able to like be able to move on at least. Try maybe sort of redeem ourselves a little bit, or just try to give ourselves a bit of peace from what I can try and recall from the episodes. So it's like even though sort of giving a sort of nice message, though granted some crimes might be too hard to ever forgive, but some people, if you've done some bad things, you try to move on and try and better yourself as a result of it. At least that's at least what you should at least try and do. It's like try to strive for, not try and feel too just be swallowed up in the guilt, I guess. Try to be better, despite everything. And I do like how you get Crosshair just looking up the sky and seeing the birds flying again, because like what happened, like you just noticed them earlier. And I do like that the shuffle seems to imply that perhaps they maybe buried the helmets or just dug up some things that were stuck. My guessing, or maybe let's see, sort of showing that Crosshair has buried his demons, if you will. Though granted, I might be looking too much into the shovel here, but at the very least about what was done, either just to dig up the ship, maybe help bury the clone helmets. But either way, it seems like Crosshair has finally calmed down from his demons here. It's from this like ice planet, and ready to help the Bad Batch in their next adventure. So yeah. Overall, I think I'll give this episode a 9 out of 10, maybe an 8.5. Let's see. I really like the interactions with like let's see Crosshair and the rest of the Bad Batch. particularly with Crosshair and that sort of tension you have there. I like how Echo's come back. Let's see, mostly to try and learn as much information he can from Crosshair about the clone, and Omega from the clone base, that all the clones are trapped. Even if he didn't get much of an active role afterwards, I do like how Omega's trying to get Crosshair to patch things up with Hunter. I like how, let's see, Wrecker is at least willing to like trust Crosshair again because Omega does. I just do, and I really like that sort of tense, let's see, bit of the conversation when, let's see, Crosshair finally reveals why he left the Empire and all that stuff. Love that he's got his armor back. Let's see, not much of a fan of like the Ice Worm beast, I guess, but I do like the jokes about, let's see, from Wrecker, like, always another beast, but I do like how it seems to bring back an indirect reference from like a last episode at the very least. Might be another standard monster of the week kind of like struggle to kind of break the tension, but I do like that sort of like way that Crosshair and Hunter see make amends, especially with that silent nod. And then that conversation at the end with Crosshair realizing he didn't really understand the Empire at the time. And Hunter's showing that Crosshair that, you know, as long as we strive to better, we can be, we can try and find and maybe deal with the regrets that we might have had, because even Hunter's had some, like, you know, regrets with like perhaps how he might have handled some things. But yeah, overall, very good episode. I'm looking forward to this week's episode once it's out on Wednesday. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off. Thank you for those who listen to the stream, and thank you, Angela Serena, for like your comments and like questions. Particularly about tech. And I hope to see you all next time in another Star Wars Bad Batch review. But hopefully the episode will be a much more... I won't be doing the episode more last-minute review thing, and hopefully a much more earlier time. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber. Goodbye, everyone. May the Force be with you.